Hello and welcome to another Delboy video, and today I'm doing the second part of my special. Yes, it was this year that after my heart attack I asked my friends to give me games to play, and these games, had to be played on a Mister. They were retro or classic games, and they could give me a hidden gem, or they could give me a game that I might have played and I enjoy, or they could just make me want to suffer. And I did a part one. 4 of my friends, I went back and I played just one of the games that they suggested. There was 8 rounds, so there was 8 games that they gave me each. And basically I had a lot of fun. Even with the ones that they want to make me suffer. So we've got to my friend Martroid in this particular instance, and he gave me some very interesting games. The games that he suggested were Repton on the Commodore 64, Survivor on the Commodore 64, Pogo Joe on the 64, Zed on the 64, Intensity on the 64, Necromancer on the Atari 8-bit, Sinistar in the arcade, and Virus on the Amiga. So, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's 8 games. And to be quite honest, there wasn't many games there to make me suffer. And there was some games there that really, really did surprise me. One of those first games was Repton. It was the first game that he introduced me to. So, this series, what I'm trying to do in this particular video is not do a range of ones that make me suffer and that. They're just ones that I've naturally just chosen because you'll probably see me or hear me swear an awful lot as I try and master the game. I haven't read the instructions again. I haven't gone back over my old videos. It really is just a bit of fun. It's sort of like to close off that past set of games that were played. We'll probably call it season 1, and then when I've done this we'll go to season 2. So this is video 60 part 2 really. So we'll go to game capture and we'll turn the sound back on, and this is Repton. So we'll press fire, and it looks very Defender-ish, and it is, but there's no saving humans. In this particular instance, nearly fouled up there. In this particular instance, you're sort of like stopping them building a super weapon or something like that. The only downside I had with this one, being as it was an Apple conversion, is it is a little bit like flying through treacle. But I still found it immense fun. Really did. So you can see that they're firing rockets now. They're building this sort of like machine. Oh, bugger! Blew up because I'm talking. They're building this super weapon, and they're making it out of these blocks that you can see here, and you can fly through them. There's no problem with that. And it's just really quite hard. But then Defender was hard, so, I'm not expecting anything other than hard with this sort of game. Oh, bloody hell, nearly didn't even see him. Should use the scanner more. You can see that there's 2 more here. There you are, got that one. There's another one. Bloody hell, that nearly got me. Got that. Yay! So I did 1 wave. Wow! Maybe that's a success. I don't know. I can't remember how far I got last time. But, oh my god, it says alert. Now, they do also nick power. That's what that big line was. And the only way to actually stop that from happening is to cut the line by flying through it, and then returning the power through that big silo that I've just passed. Never had much success with that bit. Whoa! Got that? Got that? Bloody hell. but I really did have fun with this one. Sometimes it's not about the graphics, sometimes it's not about the sound, sometimes it's just pure, just fun, flying around, shooting, getting a high score, that sort of thing. And I found this one really fun. And I'll ruin your finger though with fire. There we are, I've got second wave done. Now you'll notice that the wave doesn't reset. Oh my god. It continues, which means that that super weapon that they're building is still remains. Look, there's the rockets coming out from there. Got that. You can fly over them quickly, look, but you'll see the rockets come out. Oh, bloody hell. Shit. Bastard. I told you. It's almost like I've got Tourette's. But some games, you know, they just naturally make you swear, you know. I mean, it wouldn't have been like that back in the day, you know, when you're a kiddie. Oh, look at that beam. Wow. Oh, God, I missed that. Oh, bastard. Oh, honestly, it's enough to... I was going to say enough to make you swear, but I am. I'm swearing. Look at that little shit there, look. Oh, God, got both. Got you and all. Oh, look at them rockets. Oh, shit. Bastards. Oh, I'll tell you, aliens, why do they keep wanting to kill us? I mean, what have we done to them? There's the backstory on that, saying that, you know, we came along and destroyed whatever they were trying to do. No, they just come along and they think, right, don't like you lot. You bastards, destroy the lot of you. So, yeah. You've probably got big heads, green, tentacles everywhere. You look at this bastard here. Sometimes you gotta fly through that. Yay! Doing alright. There is a smart bomb. I rarely use it. It's one of those ones where you've gotta press space on the keyboard or something, and I think it's something that you need on really higher levels than I'm on at the moment. You know, if you're an arcade player, you'd be going, oh bastard shit. You know, most arcade players would say you don't really need them on the first waves and things. Oh, you shitty bastard alien. Oh, and it's game over. And that's sort of the game for this one. It's a good alternative to Defender. Serious Software did some absolutely marvellous stuff. I definitely recommend this one. It's a very early game. It's an Apple conversion, which is why it's using very lackluster colours. But it's not about that in this game. It's about the actual game itself, the firing, the high score, what you've got to do, all of that sort of stuff. I think this one could do really, really well if they'd have redone it a couple of years later, knowing a lot more about the Commodore 64 hardware. And with that, I'm just going to pause because we're going to now choose another game from another friend, and I need to set it up. So I'll put myself into camera mode there and just pause for a moment. It will be seconds for you. Won't be a moment. Hello, and we're back, and we're now moving on to another friend who suggested some games for me. Now, his games were quite sort of like a little bit more varied, possibly to Martroid, but really, really challenging. So the games he suggested were Frust, The Last Gladiator, Airwolf, Wheelin' Wally, Wheelie on the Spectrum, Lai Relay, Abu Simdal, and Crazy Caveman. So every single one of those was a 64, other than Commodore 64, other than Wheelie. I'm obviously familiar with the Commodore 64. Of all of those games, there is a favourite of mine, an all-time favourite, one that I bought very early on the Commodore 64, and that was Wheelin' Wally. So we're going to move to game capture, and you'll see that I've got it there. I'll just turn the sound on, and I'm going to do a reset so you can see the beginning. There we go. It plays a classical piece of music. It's absolutely wonderful. It's a minuet, which you can look up. I think it's Bach's Minuet in G, I think. And the music was arranged by G. Hansford. Now, later on, music was very, very important on the Commodore 64. Interceptor Micros was a very early company that I bought a number of games from and had great enjoyment with them. The Wally series, I think there were 3. There was Wheelin' Wally, Trolley Wally, and Wally Goes to Rhineland. And Trolley Wally had exceptional music. This is a sort of the conversion of an arcade game called Snapjack. So anyway, we'll play it, and you'll see. I mean, you've seen this before if you've seen my videos. Basically, you're a munching man on a bike. You just need to eat these dots. You don't need to eat them. It's not essential. It's best to, though. You need to avoid all the creatures and eat the special pills. They're coming up in a moment. There we are. Meet one. Basically, the map just keeps going. You just need to be very careful with teapots and all that sort of stuff. Bouncing balls. Oh, bloody teapots. There we are. Got another power dot. I think we get about 4 or 5. Oh, and it's just a fun little game. I'd have loved to have played in the arcades, but it just never turned up in my town. And when I went to the seaside, they were playing much newer games. Snapchat was quite an early game. And not sort of like widely distributed. Oh, you bastard! I think I have to go all the way back to the beginning, don't I? Yes, I do. That's the bad side of this one. Bouncing ball shouldn't be too difficult, but it's just remembering the teapot, really. Oh, Mr. Dot. You don't need it. Oh, bastard! I haven't played this since my friends suggested it, and I got much further than this. I got to the second level, about halfway through as well. But it is one where it's, you know, if you're a bit rusty, it's a bit of a pig. Oh, nearly forgot the teapot. There you go. Yeah, I've got a power dot. Like I say, you get much better scores. Watch the teapot. Little sod. Yeah, I've got another power dot. Be a ball in a minute. And a teapot. Shitty little thing. Keep going along. Yeah, you watch the teapot. Oh, bloody hell, Mr. Powel Pellet. There we are at the end of the level. Oh, nearly forgot the bloody teapot again. So this one is just land in the centre. And then fire yourself across to get to the other side. There we are. Now this one's much harder. This one's got sort of like opening and closing doors that you gotta wheel over like that. Oh, bastard. I think this is where I got to last time. Got about halfway through. Does my nut in. Oh, bouncing ball. Shit. And like I say, this was the first in a series of 3 games for Wally. A mascot, really, for Interceptor Micros. Oh, bollocks. Oh, and that's the game over. And like I say, a fun game. Just put my initials in, not that it's needed. There we go. Just a fun game, lovely music, simple. Don't need to worry about, oh, how do I do this? It's a simple left to stop, right to keep going, up and down. That's it. There is nothing more in it, and a real challenge, and just one I absolutely adored back in the day. I was so happy when Mark from 20th Century Gaming suggested it. And we're gonna just go to my camera. There we go. And thank him for that game. Absolutely wonderful. I totally recommend that game to anybody to play because it's just so simple and just absolute joy. So I'm going to pause like I did before, and we move on to my next friend who suggested a game, and we'll see whether there's a real gem here, a real bastard of a game, or one that I'm just really happy to play again. So won't be a minute. Just going to set up my mister and play the next game. Hello, and we're back, and we're moving forward to another friend of mine, Alan, who is known as Mamemeister. Brilliant friend of mine, known him for many years. He actually started me on YouTube, really. I did a live stream with him. He was doing a charity stream, and the 2 people that were there, which were Alan Mamemeister and another guy called Panther, both of them encouraged me to do a YouTube channel. I finally got the gumption to do it, and here we are 2-3 years on. So Mamemeister has been very influential for me, so it was a great joy to play the games that he suggested, and here's just some of them. There is Dino Eggs, or Dino Eggs, that was on the Commodore 64, Rocket Ball, Commodore 64, Battle Squadron for the Mega Drive, Castle Wolfenstein on the Commodore 64, Attack of the Mutant Camels on the Commodore 64, Crazy Kong 64, as you can guess, that was the Commodore 64. Fort Apocalypse on the Atari 8-bit. And Fist 2 on the Commodore 64. And he was a sort of a balanced person, really, for me to play games. Some of them he wanted me to suffer. Definitely did that. Some of them he wanted me to get some great enjoyment out of. Definitely did that with some of these. I got some real classics in here. I can tell you now, Dino Eggs is a game now that I still play. Hadn't come across that really before. I'd seen a lot of people play it, but I'd never actually tried to play it myself. Castle Wolfenstein, we both agree, is an underrated game. Everybody should try and have a play at that. Thought Apocalypse is just a classic. Fist 2 is a sort of like a disputed classic. One of those ones where I think it's now highly regarded. Back in the day, not so. I'm going back to a game that I sort of cocked up on. He wanted me to play Mega Drive on the Genesis or Mega Drive, and I played the PC version just because it's the same game, but it's just basically on a different machine, and it has clearer, sort of more highly defined graphics because they'd redefined them slightly. That's not what he wanted. He wanted me to suffer. So you're going to see me suffer again, because I did actually go back and play it again in a special video as a sorry. And I just showed how bad I was at the game. So let's go to game capture. There it is. We will turn the sound on. Hopefully it's not too loud. And we'll try and play this game. Now, I remember this on the Amiga, where I played it. But it's just, like I say, such a hard game on the Mega Drive. So we'll hit one player. Here we go. You come on, invisible. Bloody hell. Loads of this. It's just the graphics are so large. There's a lot of things on the screen. It's a bullet hell game. Look at that. Died. Absolutely useless. And then I'm invisible again. Didn't even know I'd restarted. And it's just bullets. Look, stick bollocks. And 3 lives. I mean, you need bloody every one of them. Oh, Sodger. Yeah, dead. Got absolutely nowhere in it. So we'll have another go. I noticed I came on then, not invisible. That's about right there, man. Really need the power. Don't come on very often. I don't know what he's going to get me. Is that it's up and down fire? Not particularly the best one. Things I can fire behind. You're going to come across a real bastard aliens now that come on invisible. You're able to see them. Just about holding my own dead. Oh, bastard! Oh, came on invisible, died instantly. That's a better one, but still not fantastic. Oh, bastard! Honestly, this game makes me scream obscenities. We'll have another go. Because it is my mate Alan. I do need to really just have a try. It's such a git at choosing this game. Oh, honestly. Oh, look how many bullets. Stupid. Oh, you bastards. Make you use your missiles. You need them later. Oh, and I died there. And I'm invisible again. And I'm dead. Oh, you swines! Oh, another game then. I think the aliens are going to win at this particular instance. Oh, honestly. It's just... it's too hectic for me. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that are screaming at me saying I'm a wuss and all that sort of stuff. Hey, I agree with you. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I'm a wuss. When it comes to this game, I don't mind that accolade at all. Not at all. Red weapon. Oh, see the invisible one there? Oh, that's it. Ah, didn't have it long enough. Oh, come on. Give me a chance. Invisible gits now on the screen again. You see anything new? Oh, I tried to go to the enter here and couldn't, and I died. Oh, like I say, it's a marvelous game if you're good at it. It's just so hard, but you know, it brings back happy memories of the Amiga version. It is a great game. Games are supposed to be a challenge. It's just I find that one a challenge a little bit too high. But I'm so thankful that my friend Alan suggested that game. We all need to push ourselves in our games. We shouldn't rest and just go, oh, we'll play the ones I like, you know. You need to look at every game and then realize that there is bad and there is good and there is mediocre. That's not a bad game. It's just so that it's just the difficulty is just so out of balance for me. So we're just going to pause because not only did I have these friends, and there were 7 of them that asked me for a game. There was a couple of people that said, I'd really like to suggest a game as well, if you don't mind. So I did a couple of bonuses. And these are people that I also know. And their interests are games, but they're also into films. So I'm just going to pause here, and I'm just going to line up the next game. It's a special. And we'll talk about it in a moment. So, won't be a second. And we're back. And we're on to the final game, and this one is a special, as I mentioned before. The previous ones were friends that I purposely stated, can you give me a game? And this one was a special friend. His name is Muckman-Movies. He has his own channel, does some films, and he happened to say, if you ever get the chance, can you play this game? He gave a couple. I played as many as I could. And it might well be that season 2 will be more open-ended to the friends. It won't be just the same 7 all the time. So what's this game? But it's Commando, only it's on the Spectrum. So this was a surprise to me because the Spectrum, although a machine that I totally respect, and I had myself just for a short period of time, about 6 months, I had a Sinclair Spectrum. My nostalgia is for Commodore machines. But why not have a go? And Commando was an arcade machine that I absolutely loved. And I loved the Commodore version. Even with all its problems, you know, with flickering sprites and so forth. It had a tune that was redesigned by Rob Hubbard, who was a name that basically would come to be a face of the Commodore 64, you know, a stay port in many ways. We bought the games just for the sound on the Commodore 64. So I'm going to move now to game capture. You can see I've got it up. I'm going to turn the sound on. Hopefully it won't be too loud. Turn it down just slightly. There we go. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the Kempston joystick to work on my Mister, so this is going to be fun. And we'll have a go, shall we? So here we go. Now, the last time I did play this, I did do this on the with a joystick, so I don't know I'm going to be with keyboard. It will probably be fun because I'm going to cock it up left, right, and centre. Here we go. Look, already I'm making mistakes. Oh, every time I'd normally get those free. Oh, died under the bridge. Sometimes I'm forgetting what the fire button is. Look at that. Walk straight into that. Oh, on the keyboard, this is awful. I have to say. I am not a keyboard player. I like an arcade game with a joystick. Oh, look at that. How many people coming out there? Oh, hell. Oh, Jesus Christ. Look at that. Oh, and it's got all weird. So we'll do keyboard and S to start. Is it? Or is it crashed? It's crashed. So we will have to try and load it again. There we go. And we'll reset it. Reset and apply. There we go. And we'll try and load it again. See if that one's more stable. There we are. Or maybe the joystick will work. I don't know. We'll have a go. So, I've definitely got Kempston selected, yes. We'll choose J for joystick. It's not changing at all. No. Doesn't seem to have loaded again. So we'll try another image. Try that one. Reset it. Yeah. Maybe I need to select it first. There we go. Sorry about this, but I want to give it a go. I mean, my friend Muckman gave me a great game to try and play. Hopefully it won't take too long to load. So I'm just going to pause, because I'm sure you don't want to see a loading screen. And we'll give it another go. Won't be back in a moment. Hello, so we're back, and I've got it to load. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the joystick still to work, so we'll do keyboard. And we'll try Q, A. We'll go with... oh dear. Let's see, what should we do? We'll go with O and P. We'll go with space, Z, and start. See if we get anywhere. So it's a very good game. I mean, the arcade is like, honestly, it's a behemoth of a game. The Spectrum one does have sound if you, depending on which one you load up. This one's just got fire going at the moment because it's for the lower end 48K Spectrum before the Plus models came along. But it's the game that we're talking about, and you're Commando Joe, you know, trying to rescue the hostages. It's a bit like Rambo, I suppose. And you got to basically destroy all these fortresses. But my God, keyboard. I really am no good at arcade games with keyboard. Bastard, come on, you gits! You enemy shits! You got me again! You wait, I'll send my brother in. He'll beat the shit out of you. I'm just going to get nowhere with keyboard. I had a try. I did have a real try there. So we'll just go back to the camera because that's the end of this special. It really is a homage to these people that wanted to cheer me up after my operation. They all gave me games to play. They kept me occupied. I hope they gave entertainment value to you guys. And we'll call that the end of season 1. And I'll have a look, and I dare say there'll be a season 2. Everybody seemed to enjoy this. Whether maybe it was just because they wanted to see me suffer. We'll see how the numbers are. And to be quite honest, I enjoyed it anyway. So let's say there's going to be a season 2. There you are. We've made the decision. It's going to be made. The games could be very varied. They could be coming on console next. They could be not just the computers of the 80s. And I look forward now to this next season. I hope you join me on it. Absolutely wonderful. So thanks to all those people. Muckman, thank you for that game. We'll definitely include you in the next season. And with that, I'm going to say salute. Thanks very much for watching. Bye-bye.